Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
All right, we're inside Totally Dietz as we come down the stretch of hour 2. Chris Dietz has joined us via the Invader Coffee guest line. It's time to preview championship weekend. Not just championship Saturday, but championship weekend. And this is the point where I want to bring up with Dietz when we talk Boise State. They host the championship game, do they not? Or do they play it somewhere else?
No, they're hosting.
They host it. Okay. Mountain West does it by best team.
Okay. So the Mountain West title will be played on the blue turf. That ain't oh boy. And their opponent is
UNLV.
Oh, they're gonna run them over. I'm sorry. The Running Rebs are gonna get run over.
Well, we mentioned it before.
Yeah.
This game is not just Boise State getting into the playoffs. This is not just Boise State making a statement.
Yep.
This is Ashton Jeanty. This is his chance to win. This is his chance to steal the Heisman.
Yep. Because right now, all votes are for Travis Hunter.
That's what I want to get into. That's what I want to get into with the Heisman. The Heisman Trophy, we saw it last year. It's no longer the best player in college football. It's a popularity contest.
It is.
And now, everybody is talking about Travis Hunter and Travis Hunter and Travis Hunter and Travis Hunter. And where's Colorado? They're sitting at home. Meanwhile, Ashton Jeanty has Boise State on the brink of a playoff, possibly a bye in the playoff. Yep. No one had that coming.
Nope. No one saw.
Nobody is talking about Ashton Jeanty. Nobody is talking about Ashton Jeanty.
I think Ashton is one of only a few running backs this year to get 100+ per game. I believe that to be true.
Something like that, yeah.
I know he's gotten 100 each game. But it's crazy that no one is talking about Ashton Jeanty except us, okay? Because we left Travis Hunter alone after they got blown out by Nebraska. We left this crew. I can promise y'all this.
How about when we were live on the air calling the Colorado game?
Yep.
The Colorado-Kansas game where Travis Hunter did not get the ball in the second half. Didn't have a catch. Did not have a handoff. Did not make a single play, and their defense got run over by Kansas.
They surrendered 519 yards to Kansas. Chris and I called that game. It was part of our double duty Saturday. Chris and I called that game. And Chris, I remember you saying if they don't target Travis Hunter, they're done.
Yeah.
They did not target Travis Hunter on offense once.
The one time they did was a corner of the end zone shot that was thrown out of bounds.
Yep.
It was the one time they threw him the ball in the second half.
The one time.
But he's the best player in college. But he's the best player in college football because he's the only player that anyone talks about. When they talk about Heisman, he's the only guy they talk about. What about Dylan Gabriel, who's got his team to 12-0 and possibly the number one team in the country?
Second time.
Nobody wants to talk about Dylan Gabriel. No one wants to talk about Dylan Gabriel up for the Heisman.
Second time Oregon's gone 12-0. They play in the Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis against Penn State on Saturday night. To me, the candidates for the Heisman Trophy are Dylan Gabriel and Ashton Jeanty. Period.
Mm-hmm. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Those two guys.
If there's a third candidate, I'd love to see him.
And it comes down to who plays better in their projective championship game.
Yep.
If Ashton Jeanty goes out, has 200 yards, scores 3 touchdowns, and Boise State blows out UNLV, we'll be looking at him. If Dylan Gabriel goes out, throws for 300 yards, and blows out Penn State, he'll have the upper edge. But these are the guys we should be looking at. Nobody's even putting them on the radar. Oh, because Travis Hunter plays both sides of the football.
You know what? He plays
both sides of the football, but his team. but he didn't get his team anywhere. And in big games and big moments, he faded away.
Yep. Nebraska.
By the way,
Nebraska, Kansas.
Okay. I was going to say, going back to Genty for a moment, I've got his stats up in front of me. He's averaging nearly 55 yards more than second place Omar Hampton from North Carolina on yards per game, and has 13 more touchdowns.
What's the yards per game average for Ashton Genty, since you have the stats in front of you?
191.
Listen.
yeah.
He's averaging nearly
just short of 200 yards a game.
South of 200 yards that's not the 200 rushing yards per game. Let's say that again. He's averaging just south of 200 rushing yards per game. And since Shane is our statistician this morning, how many 200-yard games has he had this year?
That's almost Derrick Henry numbers.
5? He had 5.
5 200-yard.
And his most recent
games.
His most recent one was Black Friday. 37 carries, 226.
That's almost Derrick Henry numbers.
Listen,
he opened the season busting out a 267 game, and then against WSU he had a 259 game.
I mean, no one except us, and yes, I proudly say except us, because we bring the real when it comes to sports talk, especially college football. No one else except us is talking about Ashton Genty. Listen, Dietz put me on to Ashton Genty in week 1, before week 1, because Dietz called me and he said, I got your Heisman Trophy candidate. Talk to me. He said, Ashton Genty of Boise State. And I scoffed for a moment until Dietz said, take a look at him. I took a look at him and kept him on the radar. Because early in the season, it was Dylan Gabriel. They were all quarterbacks. When the preseason Heisman first came out, sorry, I'm stuttering here. I'm getting excited. It was Dylan Gabriel, Carson Beck, and Cameron Ewers. Cameron Ewers. Now it is Ashton Genty and Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel and Ashton Genty have been what every other Heisman Trophy candidate this season has not been. Consistent.
Well, that's not what they look for in the Heisman Trophy. We saw that last year.
True.
We saw it last year when Blake Corum was the only player in college football, not Division I, not Division II, all of college football, every division. Blake Corum was the only one that scored a touchdown in every single game he played in. Consistently good. And didn't even get invited to New York City.
Didn't get a vote.
That's when I came on this program and I said the Heisman Trophy is dead. It is a dead award. It is a popularity contest.
And Snowman, what were we just talking about to start the show? What were we just talking about to start the show?
Hall of Fame stuff.
Yes, the Hall of Fame.
And Dana said it. Dana Reagan from Hebron said it. It's a popularity contest, contest.
The same way that they find ways to snub people like Roger Craig, they find the same way to snub people for the Heisman.
And they're doing it again.
Yes.
Because, Dietz, I got to applaud you, because every week last year on this program, you said Blake Corum is your Heisman Trophy winner and he won't get a single vote. That was Dietz's argument. I watched Blake Corum. He's right, and he's been right. Didn't get a single damn vote. Didn't even get invited to New York. And then when he was the only player in all of college football to score a touchdown, at least a touchdown in every single game. And now you got Ashton Genty, who is averaging just south of 200 yards a game, and no one except us is talking about him.
And just put that in perspective. He's averaging almost 200 yards a game at Boise State.
Boise State,
where
team that had.
Do you think they have wide receivers that teams are going, oh, we got to double cover this guy? No, everybody knows Ashton Genty's getting the ball. Everybody in the ballpark knows they got 12 guys on defense with eyes on him.
Yep.
And he still rushes for that many yards.
for 191 yards a game.
That's insane.
That's crazy. And we are the only network, only sports show that honestly talks about who should win the Heisman. And for me, it's a 2-horse race. And I've said it all year: Dylan Gabriel and Ashton Jeanty. Period. I said nothing. And I got scoffed at by so many people.
And you look at it, Dylan Gabriel's not even on the list. And you look at what he did. You go back to, we always go back to Heisman moments.
Right.
The guy's down by a touchdown against Ohio State with a season on the line, drives Oregon all the way down, and not only rushes in the game-winning touchdown.
Yep. I mean,
why isn't he on the list?
Because no one wants to see true greatness honored. That's all I can say.
They're also will question like, well, what school does he go to? And if it's not one of those schools that,
and if it's not one of, it's
not one of these big name programs. It's only the number one team in the country.
Right.
Yeah. If it's not
again, Dietz, say that again, please.
You can't pull that card. You can't pull that card when the team is the number one team in the country, and they won the biggest game, and he led the game-winning drive.
But I will say this, and it's something that Shannon Sharp used to say back when we were talking about other individuals for the Hall of Fame. If they like you, they will come up with every single reason to get you in. If they don't, they will find every excuse to keep you out.
Roger Craig, hello.
And a lot of that goes back to where Dylan Gabriel started his career. He started at UCF.
Yeah.
Then he went to Oklahoma. Then he spurned Oklahoma to go to Oregon. So a lot of this, the only argument I could see, and it's not an argument, but I could see them making is, well, he's in his 6th year. He's got that extra year because of COVID. Mm-hmm. Well, you gave that to him. I didn't give that to him. He's on the field, so it counts. I mean, you can't hold that against him that you allowed him to play.
It's the same thing that, and I hate bringing this name up because y'all know how much she pisses me off. It's the same thing that Cheryl Swoops was talking about in terms of Caitlin Clark breaking records. Well, she's had an extra year to break the record. She didn't do it in 4 years. Cheryl, I hate to inform you of this, but yes, she did.
Well, it doesn't.
She did it.
Doesn't matter.
She did it in 4 years
because that's underlying circumstances that were beyond her control.
And but see, these Heisman voters don't think that way. They really don't think that way. They don't give two crap. Nope, they don't. And it's stupid. It's absolutely freaking stupid to think that. Okay? It's stupid to think that. Dana Reagan from Hebron. Yeah, but the old Pac-10 was overrated, so teams from there got passed over in favor of winning tradition teams in the South and Midwest. So true.
Well, now it's not a Pac-10. Now it's a Big Ten. Now it's the Big Ten. I'm pretty sure everybody knows the Big Ten. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who the Big Ten champion is going to be. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. If Dylan Gabriel goes out and throws for 300 yards in the Big Ten championship game and still gets left off the list, we're all going to be sitting here going, what are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Right.
And I love that Dietz brought that to us. Not just to me, but to us. Okay? Dietz brought that to us saying, what are we doing with MVP votes and Heisman Trophy votes? It's a two-horse race.
Supposed to be the best. It's supposed to be the best player in college football, not the most popular, not the guy who caused the most buzz. It's the guy who produced on the field the most. And
right now, it's a two-horse race for me.
To me, it is. To me, it's Ashton Jeanty 1, Dylan Gabriel 2.
Gabriel 2. Mm-hmm. Yep. But the voters won't look at it that way. And I think I'll bring a suggestion to mind that Dietz said they should hold the Heisman Trophy vote until all the games are complete.
Yeah,
including the playoff games.
Oh, they should definitely do it. I actually just noticed something that is astonishing, and I'm still in awe of. So Army is playing Tulane this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
In the American Conference Championship.
Yes.
And it pushed the Army-Navy game back to next week.
Yeah, because this is usually the weekend for
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah,
it pushed the game to next week because Army has to play in a conference championship game.
Figure that one out, folks. Figure that one out.
Weird.
I can't. I can't figure it out. I can't make sense. Can't make sense of this. You can't make this
there's
up.
no structure with that. There's no structure.
None. Where are they playing Army Navy this year?
I think in New England.
Yeah, it's in Foxborough.
I think it's in Foxborough.
It's in Foxborough?
It's in Foxborough. What?
I mean, it used to be. It was in Philadelphia.
It was always in Philadelphia. Droid, what's up?
What, Droid?
As if I thought it couldn't get worse.
It's gotten worse, has it?
Army playing in the land of Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh, you stupid idiot. In the former land of Kraft mac and cheese.
It's probably a closer trip for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they play in West Point, New York.
Usually they play in West Point.
Usually Army Navy was held in Philadelphia.
Well, usually they always do it. They always do it in an NFL. They always do it in an NFL stadium, and so they just rotate.
And yeah, it's a rotation now between the Meadowlands and Foxborough and Philadelphia and Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, hey, Washington D.C., clear some land and bring back RFK Stadium, will you please?
All right, actually, hold up. We actually had it switched.
Really?
You did?
I actually have the locations. I found it for the next 4 games, counting this year.
Okay.
This year, it's being held in Northwest Stadium, a.k.a. Commanderland. 2025
the new RFK Stadium.
The new RFK. 2025 is going to be at M&T Bank.
Oh, Baltimore. They're hitting the Maryland circuit now. Nice.
2026 is in MetLife, and 2027 goes back to the Link.
You know what? Dear Washington, D.C., please bring back RFK Stadium with all the modern amenities and move the Redskins. Yes, I said it. Redskins back to RFK Stadium. Bring the name back. Bring the chief back. I know this is a sidebar from what we're talking about. We're getting ready to go to a break, but please allow me this sidebar. Listen. To the stupid people that dropped the threat of removing sponsors from
Washington,
the Redskins. Let me be the owner of the Redskins. I'd be so proud to have the team called the Redskins. And in the midst of political strife, and we don't talk politics here, thank God we don't, but in the midst of political strife, give me this button. I'd have told all of them 2 words. 3, actually. And Victor, you know them well.
Yep.
All y'all. The Redskins are staying the Redskins.
Snowman, your sidebar may actually have some backup.
They won't call it RFK. They won't call it RFK Stadium anymore. That will not happen.
They may actually be looking to revitalize RFK.
Well, it will not be called RFK anymore. I can guarantee you that, especially after what happened this past November.
Yeah, true.
Here's the thing, though.
RFK that's not going to happen. The NFL's not going to allow that.
Hold up. According to Newsweek, I'm looking at this right now. Commanders owner Josh Harris has expressed support for a name reversal since he took the team over last year. Harris and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell visited Capitol Hill on Monday to lobby for a bill that would help revitalize RFK Memorial Stadium and bring back the name of the Redskins.
Give me this. How long ago was that article written, Shane? Because we do here,
start of this month.
Okay.
Because what we do here is cite our sources and actually bring the true news to people. Okay, Dietz, I owe you a ton of thanks, brother, for hanging with this show for the past 8 years, hanging with my network for the past 8 years, with all the changes that have gone on from ISNet to Arena Sportsnet to now Snowman Sportsnet. I mean, brother, I love you very dearly. Thanks for coming on every Thursday and providing your insight. You're awesome, man.
Hey, there's one thing that doesn't change. We could change the landscape. We could change where we post. The thing that doesn't change is we bring the truth.
Yes. From the first time we ever combined with Fit Down Sports to now, I'm going to have Hail to the Redskins take us to a break. Shane, get that button ready. We're going to a break. And when we come back, we got more college football madness inside an hour, 45-minute edition of Totally Dietz.
All right.
Truth only here. Thank you, Dana. The hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold hard facts. Hour 3